together we can brainstorm some ideas. So the first thing you want to do when you get your title is to highlight the keywords, okay? So looking at this sentence, I'll put it here so it's a bit easy to see. What do you think the keywords are in the first sentence? Some people say that the internet is making the world smaller by bringing people together. What are the key words?
Internet, world smaller, and bringing people together. Almost.
Excuse me, sorry. Okay, yeah. And then looking at the actual question, it's asking to what extent do you agree? Okay, so that's important, that the internet is making it easy for people to, okay, easier, right. So there are keywords. So write down some ideas that you have about this task, okay? So you're not thinking about your introduction or anything. So write down some keywords or some ideas that you have, okay? Any ideas? No?
I agree that it's easier because you can communicate with anyone with anyone at any place of the world at any time.
Okay, so anyone in the world at any time. Okay, so why is that? So that's your idea. Then you need to expand it a bit. So why is that a good thing?
It is a good thing because you can keep in touch with the people you know,
Yeah.
even if they are far away.
Yeah. Can you think of anything else to say there? Touch people you know, even if they are far away. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, so you've got your idea, but you need to kind of develop, and that's one of the issues that people have with the task two, is they don't develop the ideas. Okay, so you could say nowadays it is common for people to this means they can so do you see what I mean? So I'm starting to build up the point. So because you can connect to anyone with anyone in the world at any time, so you can keep in touch with people even if they're far away. Who might be far away? So who, why? Okay, so then you can give an example. So for example, you know, many people go and work in a different country away from their family, and that can be very difficult and very lonely for them. But with the internet, they can speak to their parents every day. So you're building up and building up, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what's another idea?
We can access and share information from everywhere around the world.
Why does that make things easier?
Because sometimes we need to be have information about what's happening, because we have family there. If we keep using the example before, so we have family in other countries and we need to know what's happening, or we just to be informated.
Okay. All right. Don't forget to keep looking at your keywords as well. So world smaller, and bringing people together, so it can people can make friends and learn new things. What about online learning and work with students and teachers? Okay, but don't forget to keep referring it back to the statement. And then don't forget, you need to, it's to what extent. So you need to say, I completely agree, or I disagree. Okay, so when you've written down all your brainstorming ideas, you then need to look and, okay, we've got agree, 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 agree. Okay, so you're not talking about you know, whether the internet is better or worse. You're talking about whether you agree if it's made the world smaller by bringing people together. So that's why you want to highlight your keywords, to make sure that you don't answer a different question. Okay, so you need to keep referring back. So when you've talked about this, you need to then you could put your this is one of the main examples that shows the shrinking world. Okay, the shrinking world. So you're trying to link it back all the time to what the task is saying. Okay, and I think that's the issue that I'm sort of seeing with people when they're writing. They're kind of not bringing it all together, and sometimes it's not very clear what's happening. So you want to think about who and why, and then remember to link to the question. Okay, so you know, the first example of why the internet has, you know, has brought people together around the globe is and then you give your example here. Okay, and then the other thing you need to start thinking about is your vocabulary. And so you need other words for bringing people together, communicate, and world smaller. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're not repeating the other things. The other thing I could say is that you always look about, and you see this a lot, so if you notice that internet has got a capital I, because that's the name, the internet. So you need to make sure that you're noticing anything like that that's happening in the title that you can then repeat in your essay, okay? Because otherwise you'll get penalized quite a lot because they're giving you the example. So when you go to do this for homework, brainstorm your ideas and then ask yourself questions: who, why, because, and then go back to your linking words from the complex sentences. So what have we got? Because you can connect with people in the world at any time. Okay, You can connect with people all over the world, even though they may be on a different time zone to you. Okay, so you've got your ideas, then you go back to see how you can make it more complex. Okay, so you'll probably spend a bit more time on this essay than the 40 minutes, but we want to start practicing using the complex sentences. And that's why it's really important when you to brainstorm your ideas, because then you can start to look and see what patterns are building up. So access and share information from everywhere, and we need to know what's happening with the family. So we need to know what is happening with the family as much as possible. So we need to be able to access and share information. Okay, so we've gone from just simple notes into building up very complex sentences. Okay.